Hello? Oh, this is too much. No, don't.
Oh dear, what have I done now?
Bed looks nice.
Oh, here we are now, ladies. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm really sorry because this is my fault. Had I not messed up the recording last week, we wouldn't need to be doing this again. So what I suggest is we just go for it. Just say why we've got together, why we're collaborating, and why we're doing this on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've got loads of other things we could be doing. All right, so then we won't run out of time and they won't kick us off.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just so great to see you again, ladies. It's wonderful. All right, well, thinking behind setting up this little group and hopefully making it a big group in time. Okay, so the idea behind this is that we are a group of models and commercial models, and we act and do comedy and dance and do all kinds of other things that 60-year-olds are not considered to be doing. So, but we do them, and we decided that, I guess what lockdown has shown us is that we could support each other, but we can also raise our profile as people who have a lot of experience. And certainly I came to modelling late, within the last two and a half, less than 3 years. And I absolutely enjoy it, love working with other people, and just thought it would be really brilliant to work with some other great women who are in the same age group and who bring quite a lot to the table. And I think we have a lot to offer to the industry, and we want to promote ourselves and work together and have a lot of fun. So yeah, that was the thinking behind this. Okay, so if I can ask you, Eva, about joining us, and what was behind your thinking?
Well, I've been in the industry about 8 years. I used to work in IT, and I think there is a lot of ageism in the industry. For example, often you get roles advertised for an elderly person, and they're looking for a sort of somebody of 40 plus, or old person, somebody of 50 plus. The other thing is in terms of fitness. Often older people aren't assumed to be fit. I've often been on film shoots and going up a few flights of stairs with a 20-year-old, and they're huffing and puffing, and I'm sort of barely drawing breath. And the other area is, I think, fashion. Sometimes people think that older people are not interested in fashion, or don't go to sort of trendy shops, or don't wear, I don't know, fancy clothing. And often skin products for older women are advertised by women in their 20s, and the same with clothing that an older person might wear. Say the demographic is 50 plus, but it will be modelled by a sort of 25-year-old. So I think things need to change in that area.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, Eva. Okay, Eva, Rita, just give you a chance to draw your breath. Hiya.
Hello, at last.
Welcome.
I'm here.
Tell us a bit about you and joining and all of that.
Right. Well, I'm 61. Started this game in the last 2 years. Before, I worked in the fashion industry for over 45 years, also in the makeup industry. Love it. Love makeup, love clothes, love all of that. Prancing around, love dancing as well. So yes, I completely agree with Eva. There are times where I think people are kind of shocked by, per se, what I might do for a 60-something-year-old. But, you know, we just don't all walk around with Zimmer frames and the skirts go below the knees when you hit a certain age. I think that's gone out the window. And yes, I'm beginning to see a lot more women, all different shapes and sizes and older, in adverts. I think there needs to be a few more of us, because we were like the baby boomers, weren't we? So we've got the spending power, and we like to see people who reflect ourselves. I want to buy a face cream from someone who looks like me, not, like you say, a 30-year-old. They're going to have different problems to what I've got. So, you know, I want someone to reflect me when I'm buying something, whether it be clothing, makeup, or skincare. And yeah, it's nice to chat with like-minded ladies.
Great, absolutely. And I don't know if, like you, like me, you've been finding that in lockdown, I think things have got a lot slower, and
Yes.
that's to be expected, because that's how it is for everybody in the country, in the world. But I just feel, I feel that somehow it's not just about looks, as you say, it's also about our thinking. Do you know, I think that we can bring a completely different perspective, and we can also help companies, people who are doing things, to tap into a different market. Because after all, as you say, Rita, we are the baby boomers, and we perhaps have a little bit more disposable income, some of us, that we might want to spend differently, but nobody seems to be marketing to us. And I just think that's a trick that's really missed by companies. And so, you know, it's fine to have your group of models, your go-to models, but then there are the rest of us as well. You know, the world, as you say, is full of different people with different shapes, different sizes, and who have different tastes. So I think it's, you know, I would really like to send a message to them and just tell them that it's really time to wake up a bit and to work with us, and to ask us what we want. You know, really talk to us and listen to us. So I don't know, maybe somebody might, I don't know. But I guess the other thing is, in terms of getting started, what would be your advice to somebody who is coming to this particular industry, maybe later in life? What advice would you give them? Eva?
I'd say you have to be quite thick-skinned, and I mean, there's so many people in the industry that you will be rejected a lot, but just have confidence in yourself, and don't be put off by what other people say. Just have faith in yourself, keep yourself healthy, be sort of get on well with people, be easygoing, don't be a diva.
Yes. And if I could add to that, I remember when I first started, and I did I started as an extra, a support artist. I remember I met somebody on set, and she was lovely, but she somehow brought a lot of politics, a lot of really heavy stuff. And I just wanted to say, you know, no, I'm just here for fun. I really don't want to get too into that. There's a time and a place for everything. And this is an industry, and as you say, you know, people want people there that are easy to relate to. And not too much, you know, there is a time and a place. So to really be professional and recognize that even though it's the kind of industry that it is, that there are norms, there are expectations, and we can set an example, I guess. Rita, what would you say?
Right, I'd say same thing as Eva. You've got to be thick-skinned. First thing I did was just Google any model agencies or agencies who catered or had a department for the older woman. You get rejections, you just keep going. One man's meat is another man's poison. You just keep going. Also, I'd say when you get a job, read the brief properly, and if possible, I have a little suitcase. So if they say bring another change of clothing, bring another change of clothing. If you have been a mother or a grandmother, You know, you have your tissues, your wipes, spare pin, you know, all them bits and bobs. Take a good book. I love to crochet, so I take a bit of crocheting because there's a lot of sitting around for some jobs, and it can get a little bit boring. You do your chatting, then you might run out of things to say, so I can start reading my book or do a little bit of knitting while I'm there. So I keep myself occupied in between takes and such like, you know. But yes, be friendly, network, take numbers, take note of who your director is and who the people around you are, and then, you know, you might go to another job and meet them again. Or if you see a job, you think, oh, I know that person.
Yes.
It's your new job, it's your new profession, so you treat it with importance.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've reminded me, Rita, because that's something that I think I wasn't as good at as I could be.
Yeah.
And that was really making those relationships with the production team, the directors, and just making sure that you keep in contact with them as well. You know, like treat it like a real business. And they are your kind of possible people to think about on later jobs. So that's something that I didn't do as well as I could do. I didn't network as effectively. And that's certainly something that I've learned. And I didn't, I guess because there was nobody that I could talk to at the outset, you just kind of go charging in, which is what I did. And so, you know, here I am, let me in, let me in. And they'd say, no, go away, go away. And I'd say, okay, 6 months, I'm back again.
But yeah, the other thing is, I would say, is keep your photos up to date. There's so many good time for prints photographers if you can't afford one. So there's some great photographers out there, and just get a range of types of photos for your portfolio.
And also with Amazon these days or such like, you can buy, you know, if you've got a nice camera, you can buy yourself one of those lights, and one of those, I've got like one of those little tripod things, and I stick my phone on there. And sometimes, you know, especially in lockdown, you can get bored rotten. So I get some clothes out of my wardrobe and I think, oh, what am I going to do now? And I just start taking pictures, and it keeps me busy for a couple of hours. And end up with some nice results.
I have to say, Rita, your pictures are brilliant, because I have seen them on Instagram, and that was a question I was going to ask you, because it's not something I've got around to, and my pictures are rubbish. I really do, if I tell the truth, I do need an update, but I don't want to spend masses and masses of money on them. So I'm really going to take some advice from you today, ladies, and get my portfolio sorted. Because the pictures, it's surprising how quickly they do go out of fashion. And I notice some of the agencies that I'm with, as soon as they get new portfolio pictures, they're marketing those models quite heavily, because they've got new pictures for them. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, but it's because my pictures are old and need updating. So live and learn. Well, ladies, anything else that you would like to say to anybody who would like to feature, who'd like to join us and share their experiences? And I guess maybe looking at the way forward, some of the things that we've discussed, some of our interests, and some of the things that we'd like to cover in future broadcasts. If you'd just like to say a little bit about your particular interest that you're looking forward to.
I think I was quite interested in sort of perceptions of older people, and maybe what they really like, just sort of little sketches. Also, I mean, think fashion articles. I think Rita will be very helpful, having worked in fashion for a long time.
Absolutely, yes. How about you, Rita? Anything in particular that you're really excited about us doing? Hello? Oh, we've lost you. Okay.
Hello. The sound.
Yes.
Okay. You're back.
it'd be nice speaking to other people who've been in the industry other lengths of time, like Eva, you've done 8 years, Angela, you've done nearly 3, me too. Their experiences, you know, their funny moments, anything they can suggest that maybe we're not doing but should be doing. You know, everyone's got a different stance on it. What they do with them to keep themselves occupied. Maybe down to their beauty regimes the night before. What do they do? Do they have a pamper up? You know, what do they do going for a job? It'd be interesting to see.
Great, great. Well, I'm excited about fitness and health, because I trained as a nurse 40 something years ago, and I then went on and did a bit of teaching. So I just feel, I look back on my own health journey, and I really, if there was one of the things that I would have done differently, perhaps there are things that I would have taken a lot more care with. And so that's something that really excites me. It's just about helping people. I think people are much more educated and are much more knowledgeable now, but just about taking that responsibility for your health, and not always expecting the healthcare and the medical professionals to know what's best for you. They might know what's best generally, but you know what's your body, and you know how to look after it. And so that really excites me. The idea of just collaborating and finding out what other people do and how they keep fit, and how can we help to kind of improve our quality of life. So yes, some exciting things to look forward to.
I think that's especially important at the moment with our health service being stretched.
Yes.
That we keep as fit and as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, if I tell the truth, I'm terrified of going to the doctors right now. I really am, because I know that they're overstretched, and there's a lot happening. Don't know all of it behind the scenes, but I really do feel that the more I can do to keep myself fit, and the less I keep out of their way, the better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that might be a bit cynical, but that's really how I feel at the moment.
Yeah, true. Yep. Go back to the old methods. A little bit of what you fancy does you good.
Absolutely. And you know, I think sometimes diet and all of that, because we've got so busy, and we've not necessarily looking for shortcuts, but we're trying to put so much into our days. I think some of those important things get missed off, and so we don't look after our diets perhaps as well as we could do. And you know, maybe that's what we can revisit in lockdown.
Yeah. Why not?
Yes. Well, thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you.
I'm just mindful that we don't get kicked off and we don't lose this recording again. One of the joys of technology at 60.
Did you do a little test?
I did,
Oh, good.
and I've been shown what to do. I just hope I can remember and do it properly. But thank you so much for giving up your time. It's Saturday. Don't take it for granted. I appreciate it. It's lovely to see you. Have a wonderful rest of the day and a great weekend, and see you soon.
Yeah, bye ladies. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye. Right. Now I need to